Hello, sunshines. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. Oh my gosh, the temperatures totally dropped last night to like, I don't know, like 32. I see some of the damage, if you would say, right now, but oh my gosh, it did it before I can get these in the ground, but we're going to be fine. I definitely could get these in the ground. The ground is not frozen or anything like that. It's just, there was a frost. We woke up to like ice, on the vehicles and things of that nature. And then when I came down in the garden, like my dahlias, I can see, and I was supposed to harvest those and make a vase that I told you all the other day, and I didn't do that. So I missed the last grouping of dahlias, I believe. So we'll handle that on another day. But these plants right here behind me, they need to get in the ground like ASAP. And so the next 2 days or so, I'm going to try to get as many in the ground and in their location, whether it be planters or wherever I'm going to put them. That's what we're going to be doing for the next two videos. And so I'm going to start off with these roses because I know where I want them. And yes, I did. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lie to you all. Well, I told you all maybe it was my final shopping at the garden center, but I made it back to the garden center. One of the things that I went back for is because I got these drift roses, and one of them I got in one blooms pink and then one bloomed white. And where I decided to place them, I was like, I want them both to bloom the same, and I wanted white. And so I went back and I got a white, and then I got some other things that we'll talk about when we plant them up. I know some heuchera, some more evergreen, and I think I got some ajuga I've been wanting, but we'll talk about that when we get them in the ground. But we're going to start off today with at least two of these roses. I don't know if I'll get the third one where I want it to go, but I know I'm going to get these roses in, and then a couple of other things up there. So let me load up this gorilla cart and let's get to planting. I also know where I'm going to put this mum. Whew. And where I'm going to put this sedum. So I'll load those up too. Yes. So here's what I decided to do with those two roses. I'm going to move these pots. I like the idea of the pots here, but I think I want to put something on the ground. I know I do. I want to put those roses here. And these are not climbing roses. But from my experience with the roses, because I have a few of them over there on the hillside garden, is that they do get the long canes, right? And so my thinking is, like, even if it just grows up in this area but not actually climb the trellis, it's okay. And I can always like groove some in or attach them to the trellis if I want. But even if it just grows up, because the specs on this, I think it's 4x4. Let's just double check. Well, son, height is 3 to 4 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet wide. And so that's pretty tall. And so I'm going to pull these out, and we're going to eventually we'll find another home for the pots. But for now, I'm just going to pull them out, set them to the side, and get these roses in. I don't have rose gloves on. I don't need you checking out anything, Mr. Brown. I think that's going to be super pretty in the spring. Yeah. We're going to put bone meal in this hole. I me too. Oh my goodness, this is nice. I think that's a good change. And like I said, in the spring, when they grow up, it's going to be nice. Okay, we'll come back for these pots later and figure out where they're going to go. Let's go get the sedum planted up next. So I've talked to you all about having some fall color over here in this space. And as we know, sedum produces a nice fall color. And so the heads of the sedum, as we know, turn this pretty, depending upon the sedum. This right here is, I think it's Autumn Joy. This is Autumn Fire, actually. And so it turns this like light pink color. And so I'm going to stick 2 of these over here. I did have some columbine over here that died back. So I just got to make sure I know where everything is, kind of. In front of this bike, I know that's an empty spot. So I could put, like, at the end of the bikes, that's columbine right there. I could put a patch right there in front of that bike. Over here was some verbena, but it's gone. I know I have some hosta over here. Oh, this is why I wanted to get everything planted up when... Oh, we have an empty space right here. And we have... There's definitely empty space here for a patch, and I want to have it a little not too far in the back because it needs some sun. So definitely thinking this is an empty spot, and then nope, there's a hosta there. There's a hosta here, nothing here. There's a stomp there. There's space here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick one right here. We'll roof this, you know that. And so that looks good there. I didn't do a close-up of the roses. I'll go back, but You can see the sedum right there, and then a patch over there. Okay. And you can see Mr. Brown has discovered he can now go behind the shed. So I'm going to be planting up this area and extending this garden bed, the length, and I don't know, maybe the width, we'll see. But that won't be until the spring. So let's go put this mum in the ground. So our mum is not actually going to go in the ground. It's going to go in this planter, and then I'll think about in the ground next year. I'm going to hold off on the mums until the spring to see exactly where I want to put them. So these are roots from the coleus and roots from the I can't even think of the name of this plant. So we're just gonna rough this soil up a little. This mum will be short-lived. It's nice and fluffy actually, so I'm just gonna tuck it in here. Oof, those roots. Okay, what else can we get planted up today? Did I give y'all a close-up? There goes the mum. Just like a nice little pop of color. And I think when I plant the rest of them out at the end of the season, or in the spring I should say, I'm gonna dapple them all around this area. That is what I'm thinking. And then we'll have color. But there are so many leaves, but it just looks so pretty to me. But we have a lot of leaf blowing to do, but it just looks so super pretty to me. So let's go back to our stash. So I stopped by the stash and I grabbed the other rose, because what I've been thinking is putting the rose right here to flank this corner. I think out. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Mr. Brown. And so I think it would be nice for this rose to grow up right here and flank this corner. Once again, Mr. Brown, for whatever reason, he was trained to literally stay out of the garden beds, like by using the rocks. And I don't know, in the last, a couple of months, or I don't know, month or so, I just feel like he just doesn't respect the border. But anyways, so I want to put this rose right here. I think that would be sweet to have a rose growing up in this space. And I'm looking at the what is this? This is fine, but the shock really affected those self-seeded zinnias. So, but anyways, back to this. I'm gonna tuck it here. I hope Mr. Brown doesn't bother it. I hope he doesn't use it. I don't want to blame Mr. Brown for everything, but I hope he don't kill my rose. I think a lot of these plants are not that easy to just kill. I like that choice. Okay. So We got a flower in this bed. I also grabbed the let me see. I also grabbed the, you can't see the shrub, but anyways, the abelia. This shrub blooms in spring and summer, even though it has blooms right now in the fall. This gets to be 3 feet high and 4 feet wide. I have a spot that I want to put this in. It does say that it requires full sun. This side, I don't know. It gets where I'm going to put it. It's getting a lot of sun right now. I don't know if because the sun is lower in the sky, as we all know, but also we cut those trees. And when we cut those trees, it really opened up. I noticed right away how much the sun was entering this area. So I'm hoping that that's what it is. And I'm going to go ahead and plant it. If it doesn't work, we can always move it. So we're not that far from where we just planted up the rows. I'll give an overview after I get this in the ground. And so this is where, this spot right here is where I had that, what do you call it? That little tier planter. And so I think that it was just filling the spot so sweet. And so let me step back. And so that's what I'm thinking for that. And so behind that, we have our hydrangeas, and we have this, I have it covered right now, this Wigelia. And then I was going to, I think tucking this in right here will be nice. And then we have plenty of space right here for other things. So as I stand here, I'm like, what would those other things be if I put other things here? I would definitely, I mean, the hydrangeas are going to grow up. This is going to get about 3 feet. Out. No. Out. No. Out. Good boy. No. So this will get big and wide. I'll still have like space to walk for the garden beds. And then if I choose to put some things here. But I just think when I picked this up and when I was thinking about placement, I was like, it would be perfect right here. And so we'll see. Let's just get in the ground. Mr. Brown. Get out of there. No. Go. Good boy. Go. Out. Good boy. You ever have I have 5 children, and there's always a child that you always have to give the loud voice. Some of the children you can just say, don't do that. My children are much older now. They are full adults for the most part. But, you know, and then there was that one child that you had to like remind them and raise your voice a little bit with. That's Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown is the child that you have to threaten, punishment that you have to say. He has to see you walking up on him. He is something else. He is I love that dog. He's my best friend outside of my husband. Even though my husband would say, no, you had it right the first time. I'm going to check out these roots. That's what I've been doing with all of them. The roots are fine. I didn't look at the tag. Let me just look at the tag and see if it likes fertilizer, if it will tell me. Yes, it's fertilized in the spring and the summer, but this is bone meal. This is for the root system, as I told you all before. So I was looking at somebody else's plant the other day, and they were using bone meal for the same reason, for root development. And so what we want to remember is during the fall and winter, that's when the flowers are developing their roots. And in the spring and summer, that's when they're putting on their blooms. So this is why planting in the fall, and I should have looked at that from all sides. Planting in the fall is a good thing because you want those plants to not have to focus on their roots and get in there and get rooted in really well. And then in the spring, focus on some beautiful blooms. Our stash. Oh my gosh, I really like it. But I told you all I was going to show you. I was going to show you a close up. So that's, let me zoom out. So in proximity to the rose is right there. The abelia, I hope I'm saying that right, is right there. You can see the marigolds were not happy about the frost either. But this is a close-up of the abelia. So pretty. So pretty. Neither was the basil happy. The Swiss chard, loved it. But I think that was a good choice. It just like makes a statement. And I have so much space still around it. And I'll still be able to walk to put little things in front of it or whatever I decide to do with this space. All right, let's go back to our stash. So here's what we have left over here. We have this 9 bark. We have a bunch of heucheras. These are the ones that I bought. The ajuga. We have these. I want to take a look at the description on these. I have an idea, but give me one sec. And then we have these. I actually got these. We'll do in another video because these are going in planters for sure. Those are going in planters. I know that a couple of these heuchera or corabels are going in planters. These, I know where I want them to go. And then let me look for a placement for these. These are the bluebeard. They bloom purple. They need full sun, of course. And I have to think about where I want to put them. But I actually know where I want these. So let's go plant these up. Okay, so here is the space where I think these arborvitae fire chief will be nice. Here's the idea. We've been talking about this space right here, and I always talk to you all about making a pathway to the eclipse hydrangea because I walk that path. But as you can see, this is a stand, not the tree. The tree is here because I needed to water it and needed some sun. Where I had it placed was not working. So it's sitting in this pot with water, soaking up water, and I can see like some of the leaves have definitely come back to life. So I'm going to move that out the way. But eventually I'm going to, not on this video, but I'm going to get this flower, this right here, this garden bed out. And once that garden bed is out and moved, I'll have all of this area for planting. Let me move this. This will help give a little better view of how much space I would have. So I would have all that space. So that's going to be gone. Envision that gone. And so what I was thinking with the arborvitae chiefs is that they would flank the pathway. So the pathway will not lead directly anymore to the eclipse hydrangea, but this way I would center the pathway and it would still lead back there. I don't know if they're going to be big stones, small stones, how wide they're going to be. I have been collecting some stones, so we'll see. But the idea is to put a pathway, and then on I'll have planting on this side and planting on that side. So although the pathway's not here, I'm going to go ahead and still stick these Fire Chief arborvitaes in. I think they get 4x4, something like that. So they're going to fill up these spaces, and I can always move that light up some. That's not a big deal. And so that's what I'm going to do with those, and then they'll be in the ground. If things change or I change my mind in the future, I can always pull them up and put them somewhere else. I will always say that I am not scared to move plants. I think I end up putting that one lower than that one, or maybe it's bigger. I don't know, because at first I thought I had this too high. Have a good day, love you, see you when you get back. At first I thought I had this one. I think the ball is bigger. I really do, because I can pull it up. There it go. Pull it up a little. So pretty. Has such nice fall color too. Okay, I like that. I like that. So I hope you're catching my vision. That's not centered. That will be out of here. And we'll use the two arborvitaes to create our path when the time comes. Unless we X out a path all the way altogether. No, I think a path would be nice. I'll have to remove this beautiful rock and put it somewhere else. But okay, I think I can get two more things in the ground. I think a couple more. Let's see. So I didn't want the video to be any longer than this, but I hope you enjoyed. Come back on Friday for part 2. Blessings. Bye.